Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alicia, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I maybe answer them. Maybe, I don't know. Let's get to your first question this week. The first question this week actually is two questions. It comes from, first, Cristiano Magalhaes, hi Cristiano, and Muad Guiton, hi Muad. Both of you asked the question, what is the biggest difference between American and British English? Or just what are the differences between American and British English? There are quite a few differences. So the first difference is pronunciation. American English speakers and British English speakers have different forms of pronunciation. And depending on the specific city or the specific region that the speaker is from, there can be even bigger differences. It just depends on how you grew up and what the local dialect means way of speaking is. So I can't really do a British accent very well, but a great example word is a word like popular. So when I say popular, everything is kind of this like crisp sound to it, popular. And my R sound is really like clear, I think, too. In British English, though, perhaps it would sound like popula. So it's all kind of soft and round, popula. So it sounds quite different from my American English, popular. I don't think I can do a British English accent. I don't want to go to school today. One huge difference between American English and British English is pronunciation. So if you want to hear some examples of British English pronunciation, you should check the YouTube videos that we have on the channel. You can find some British English specific videos there. So listen to that and you can compare that to the American English that's on the channel. So I speak American English. The second big difference is vocabulary. There are just different words used to describe the same things. So a great example of this, in American English we say elevator. In British English the word is lift. So they refer to the same thing, that box that moves people up and down buildings. Like, that's the same thing, it's just different words for that. So in most cases, using different vocabulary won't be a problem. But there are some cases, like with slang or with insults especially, where maybe one type of English has that word and the other type of English doesn't have that word. The third point is grammar. There are some small differences in grammar, like preferences kind of. So this can mean like something as small as choosing a preposition. A rule that an American English speaker uses might be different from a grammar rule that a British English speaker uses. So a great example, I just said different from a British English speaker. So different from or maybe different than are some choices that maybe American English speakers would use. But a British English speaker might say different to. So there are these kind of very, very small grammar points or kind of small preference points that are different between these two. So again, that's just something that you have to experience, I think. And even me, as an American English speaker, there are some things that sound strange to me because they're British English. It's just the way that a phrase is expressed, or it's just a way, it's just a preference. So I think that in terms of your studies, if you really are concerned about British English and American English and putting them together, I would say maybe vocabulary. You could spend some time learning differences in vocabulary and then consider pronunciation differences too. So I hope that this helps you. Thanks very much for the question. And also, there was one more question from Muad. Hi again. So Muad also asked about when we should use for and from and at. Perhaps this is a question about prepositions. If it is a preposition question, like for, at, by, to, that sort of thing, which I talked about briefly, you can check out the preposition videos that we have on the channel about prepositions of place and prepositions of time. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Okay, next question comes from Rifki Subhan. Hi, Rifki. Rifki says, please explain the difference between I should and should I. Have to and should have. Thank you. Okay, I should begins a statement. I should clean my room. I should study. Should I begins a question. Should I clean my room? Should I study? Have to is used to explain a responsibility. I have to clean my room. I have to study. Should have is used to express regret over something you did not do in the past, but you wish you had done. So, I should have cleaned my room. I should have studied. So I hope that helps you. It's a really quick introduction to the differences, but hope that helps you. Okay, thanks very much for the question. Let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Marcelo Oliveira. Hi again, Marcelo. Marcelo says, hi, Alicia. My question is, what's the correct form to use? Already, still, or yet? Thanks. I'm not sure what correct means here, what you mean by correct. So I'll talk about the differences between already and yet and still. So we use already to talk about actions that are finished. They have been completed, and they're actions that we expected to happen. So for example, I've already eaten lunch, or I've already finished my homework. Yet, then, is used for actions that are not finished, but we expect that they will be finished at some point in time. So when we use yet, we often use the present perfect tense to talk about that. So for example, he hasn't eaten lunch yet. We haven't taken out the trash yet. Then we can use still to kind of give emphasis to something that needs to happen or that should happen, but that has not happened yet. We don't use yet together with still though. So for example, I still haven't eaten lunch, or we still haven't taken out the trash. It's an emphasis thing. So it's like there's something that really needs to happen, it just hasn't happened yet. If you want to make yet stronger, you can use still. So I hope that helps you. Thanks very much for the question. All right, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Douglas Otavio. Hi, Douglas. Douglas says, hi, Alicia. What's that mean? Or what does that mean? Which one is correct? Both, really. But technically, what does that mean is correct. What does that mean when we're speaking quickly sounds like, what's that mean? But what's that mean isn't like grammatically correct, especially if you spell it like WHAT''S. What's that mean? That's not technically correct, but in fast speech, what does that mean can sound like what's that mean? Like the does part gets very, very reduced. Like what's that mean? So you should use what does that mean if you're writing. You could use it in speech as well, but if you're writing, make sure to use what does that mean. That one is correct. Okay, hope that helps you. Thanks for the question. Okay, let's go to your next question. Next question comes from Nari. Hi, Nari. Nari says, hi, what is the difference between sanitize and sterilize? Yeah, okay. If you're talking about cleaning, they're very similar. So to sterilize something means to completely remove germs. To sanitize is to try to sterilize, like to make something clean. So imagine sterilize is like 100% clean. There's no bugs, no germs, nothing. Sanitize is like something that should be very close to perfectly clean. Maybe it's not, but something that's sanitized. Sterilize does also have another meaning that means like to remove someone or something's ability to have babies, which we use for pets. So like to sterilize a cat or to sterilize a dog. That means like to have a procedure, an operation, so that the animal can no longer have babies. So that's another way to use sterilize. That's totally not related to cleaning, but you might see that as well. So in terms of cleaning, think of sterilize as like 100% clean, sanitize as like making something clean, like in order to make something clean. So I hope that helps you. Thanks very much for the question. All right, so that's everything that I have for you for this week. Thank you as always for sending your questions. Remember, you can send them to me at englishclass101.com/ask-Alicia. There's a link in the description. Of course, if you like the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check us out at englishclass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this week's episode of Ask Alicia, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.